Amari, when you look at these cornerbacks, they've always been kind of a physical bunch of cornerbacks in Baltimore. What are you seeing of Humphrey and Peters so far?
Yeah, I mean, I went to Alabama with Humphrey, so I've known him for a long time. He's always been a really great athlete and a really great competitor. So it's going to be a challenge definitely for us in the receiving room going up against them. As far as Peters, we came in the league the same year, and we were both in the same division. He played for Kansas City. I was at the Raiders, so have some background with him too. He's a great ball hawk coming off of an injury, so don't really know how that's affecting them. But they're both really good players, so it's going to be a challenge for us.
Well, I saw some stat that said there was a lot of yardage downfield that, for you personally, that could have been there Sunday. Did you feel like that?
There was a lot of yardage downfield. What you mean? You got to clarify that.
I guess opportunities for downfield targets that you wind up not converting or not being thrown your way.
I don't know. I never heard a question phrased that way pertaining to targets downfield, but I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that one, to be honest.
How about the fact that I know some of them were throwaways, but 4 out of 12 targets, were you and Jacoby just a little bit off, or what? How do you account for that?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not a good percentage in terms of balls being caught versus balls being thrown your way. So, I mean, it's just definitely something that we have to work on, and that's why we practice. I would love to catch 12 out of 12, you know what I mean? So, it's just always room for improvement, and that's why we're here.
Every week is important, but the fact you guys are 2-4, you've got back-to-back division games. Do you guys view this as a pivotal point in the season?
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously starting with the next game, a division game, just to get back on track, you know what I mean? It's a very important game for us. Like I know, just the momentum of a win can do some amazing things to a locker room. So, that's what we're trying to do.
These guys have, I think they're tied for 3rd in the NFL with 8 interceptions, so they are a real ball hawking group. So does that change your approach, your mindset at all when you head into a game knowing that those guys are going after the ball a lot?
Yeah, I mean, that's the number one thing that you try to protect is the ball. As an offense, that's our number one rule, no turnovers. And so I would say that's something every week that we really harp on. And so it's no different this week.
Speaking of Alabama guys, Kenyon Drake looked good last week. What did you think about him when you guys together? Did you know he would have this kind of success?
Yeah, yeah. We came in together at Bama as well. We were real close. Yeah, of course. I mean, I always thought he was really explosive running back, and I always knew he would, have explosive games and be an explosive player. I don't think that was a secret to anyone, to be honest.
Humphrey's had some games against the Browns. He's been wound up, been in some incidents. Is that his personality?
You said what?
Humphrey's had some times with the Browns where it's been some extracurriculars. Is that?
Some extracurriculars?
Yes. Is that just super competitive? Is that just how you've always known him?
Actually, no, that's not how I've always known. I mean, I was only at Bama with him for a year because I was a junior, he was a freshman. And, I mean, he didn't play, so. But, obviously things have changed. He's a veteran like I am. He's been a really good player. But, no, I haven't known him like that, to have a lot of back and forth or to be a trash talker or anything like that. So, that's news to me. But, like I said, I was only at Bama with him for a year, so.
He would have played everywhere else anyway, right?
Say it again?
Said he would have played everywhere else.
Probably, yeah. I mean, he's a tremendous athlete. That's one of the things everybody noticed about him when he first got to Bama. He was really good at football, at track, and he has a whole family of great athletes. So, yeah.
Hey, Marty, John Johnson yesterday brought up maybe there's a lack of commitment by some players here, and that could be interpreted in a lot of different ways. Are you seeing the focus and the commitment that you would hope to see out of this group?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It could be interpreted in a lot of different ways. So, you would have to ask him exactly what he meant by that. But at the end of the day, there's always more you can do here. I mean, when you go home, maybe you can watch a little less TV and more film. Maybe you can sleep less and watch more film and study the playbook. Maybe you could come in earlier. Like, there's always something more you can do. So maybe that's what he meant by that.
As a veteran, do you impart that on players that you see might not be doing what you think they should be doing? I know that's not necessarily your call, but would you go out of your way to tell a player, hey man, maybe you need to do a little bit more of this, that, or the other?
I think as far as the room that I'm in and that I'm the leader of, I think we're doing a tremendous job. I think everybody really understands the playbook well. We do a good job studying the defensive backs that we're going against each and every week. I think the way our leadership group is structured is like, a player from each position. So, I would think if there's a guy in your position group that you may feel like, isn't handling business the right way, then yeah, of course, you go up to him for the team's sake and, just try to give him some better advice, But that hasn't been the case in the receivers room.
Did you do any of that when training camp began?
Do any of what?
Kind of giving some of the younger guys some tips from your years of how to be a pro. So
Yeah, of course. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of younger guys in the receivers room. So, just giving guys advice on some of the things that I might have gone through or might have seen other players go through that I might have seen them going through at the time. And so, yeah.
How does the leadership here and the way it's structured? It seems like there's plenty of leadership to go around here, but since you've been in some other spots, how would this compare to maybe how Dallas did it or how the Raiders did it?
What do you mean?
I mean, just like you guys have a leader from each position group that visits with Stefanski and that. I mean, is it like that in other places, or
Yeah,
is this unique?
I think that's pretty typical of most places. Most places have a leadership group or a leadership committee, that meets with the head coach. Yeah, the important thing is you don't have to be a part of the leadership group to be a leader, though. Anybody could be a leader. But yeah, I think it's pretty similar.
Even though you probably every week do as much as you possibly can, and this week when sort of Jacoby has called on everybody to dig a little deeper and everybody's kind of playing out that theme, is there anything else that you're doing this week or can possibly do this week a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's always something more you can do. I mean, just look at, every phase of the things that's necessary for you to be good when Sunday approaches, as far as like taking care of your body, or whether it's watching more. The thing that you might be lacking at is the thing you probably need to do more. So yeah, I mean, I've been getting here a little bit earlier, watching more film, taking care of my body more. Those are two things that I feel like I can improve on.
did you talk to Jacoby about those targets that you didn't hit on? Like I
Yeah.
assume you do that every week, right?
Yeah, we do that every week.
Okay.
Just, talk about, the offense in general, talk about some of the plays. Yeah, I mean, just definitely a lot of things that I could have done better.
What do you do during the week to improve the long ball? I mean, I studied some of
The long what?
the long ball. I was studying some of his deeper ball stats, and they're not where I'm sure he would want them to be.
Right.
And I know a lot of that comes in the heat of the moment with coverage and all that kind of stuff. But is there anything that you guys can really do during the week to increase the percentage of long ball completion?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like I said, there's always something you can improve on. Yeah, I mean, I would just say more reps, maybe. You know what I mean? Repetition is always a good thing. So yeah, more repetition with the go ball. And then as far as the game, there's a lot of things I could have done better on the go balls that I did have, as far as stepping on the DB's toes a little bit more, coming off with more speed vertically. So, I mean, like I said before, that's why we're here. That's why we work.
I know Jacoby's got a lot of trust in you. When he throws you that deep comeback with the guy in coverage, and that, I think it was a third down, and then even the touchdown, with a guy in coverage? Like, does that just show how much he trusts you to go make a play in a big situation?
Yeah, I pride myself on, every phase of being a wide receiver. I don't think a lot of people understand that I'm a good player when it comes to like catching the ball while being covered. I think people only emphasize the fact that I'm a good route runner and I get open, and that's what they see. That's what they emphasize. But even when I'm not open, I could make those plays. I think people kind of look at it as either or. Like, okay, he creates separation a lot, so that's what he's good at, and he may not be good at when he's not so open. But that's not really the case with me. But I can see why somebody would look at it that way.